Welcome to Glitch Please, the show where we talk all about video games. I'm Brian.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Nick.
How's everybody doing?
Doing fantastic.
Yeah? Good. What? We're at that point in the year where I feel like all the big games have been released. There are a few stragglers, but you know everything big's out. So I'm kind of catching up on my backlog personally, but I want to know what you guys are playing.
I don't care about no backlog, Brian. I'm just playing Smash Brothers.
You're just still on Smash.
That's all I'm going to be playing for the next foreseeable future.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, really.
Have you unlocked everything?
I've unlocked all the characters,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
like to unlock everything, you're talking about like all the music tracks, the Mii costumes, the spirits. I still have not touched the spirits mode at all.
I didn't think I would like unlocking characters as much as I do. It always, every time one of them shows up and I have to fight them, I love it. It doesn't matter who it is. Like I unlocked Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Yes, got him. I will never ever play Jigglypuff.
Yeah, me neither. But have you unlocked all the characters yet?
No, not even close.
Okay. Then this may be some good news for you.
Okay.
They updated the game.
Yeah.
So that it didn't really change a whole heck of a lot. It was mostly just some bug fixes.
Okay.
But the big thing they changed was they made it so that when you're fighting a character to unlock them, they aren't quite so impossibly good at the game.
Okay.
They're a little bit easier now.
I was worried that was just me because I have like maybe a 50% success rate on some of these characters.
Yeah, they made them easier. I unlocked other characters before that, so now I'm just like, well.
Right, show off.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
know.
No,
I did it when it was
I'm not saying
hard.
that to show off. I'm just saying I wish I didn't have to walk upwards.
I gotcha.
Uphill in the snow both
Right,
ways.
exactly.
I unlocked all the characters before it was easy. Yeah.
Who are you maining in Smash?
Still Greninja.
Yeah.
I really, really want to learn Ice Climbers. Like, there's some footage of like some stream that we did.
Why what's about is because there's two of them? Double trouble?
Well, like in any fighting game, I pick a character based on how cool it looks to play them.
Yep.
So like their combos and stuff.
Right.
Ice Climbers, they have this really cool thing where it's called desyncing. There's two Ice Climbers, and whenever you hit a button, like your lead Ice Climber will attack, and the other one will attack like a split second behind them.
Yep.
But there's a way to desync them so that you can get them to do different moves at different times. And so like,
Is that a bug or is that a real thing? Like
no, it's not
intentional.
It's not a bug. I don't know if it's intentional. It's just kind of more like a quirk of, like there's no great way to program around it, I guess. So they just kind of leave it in. That's kind of how they've always been in every Smash game that they've been in. But I follow enough Smash Brothers people on Twitter that like every now and then we'll see some like really cool combos and stuff that people are doing, or just really cool moments. And there's times I see Ice Climbers, they're like, one will grab them and like slam them on the floor, which bounces them up, and then the other Ice Climber will jump up with the hammer and smack them down on the side.
Tight.
I did it on accident last night when I was playing against some coworkers.
Yep.
But I just want to learn how to do all that stuff on purpose because I think that looks really, really cool.
Are you the best person in your office at Smash?
It depends on the day.
Okay,
Like
gotcha.
Even last night when I was playing with two of my coworkers, Luis and Ben, it just depended on which game you were looking at. Because there were some games.
Any given game.
Yeah, there were some games when I felt pretty good, but then some others where I just felt like I was not even controlling my own character the way I wanted to.
It's interesting about that desyncing, like, that's always been my question about, like, Melee, like, all the stuff that people discovered in that game.
Yeah.
Was that intentionally put in there by the programmers, or was it an accident that, people just sort of figured out?
You mean like the wave dashing and all that stuff?
Yeah, and, like,
so that's
directional, falls, or however,
Yeah. So that's another thing that I would say is more like a quirk of just how the physics engine works in that game. Like, it's kind of unclear exactly how much the director Sakurai knew that was in the game, but I think he knew it was in the game. But also, given the fact that it was like, I think maybe a 2-year development time, it's relatively quick for a game of that scale. So they probably just didn't have the time to iron all that stuff out if they decided they wanted to.
The interesting thing is, like, now, but if there's something like, will they patch that desyncing out, with Ice Climbers?
No, if they do, I think my interest in the character will go.
Yeah.
They just do really cool looking stuff. I just want to play them for that.
It's cool how, it is cool how people can take it and, like, make completely different things that developers did not intend to do.
Yeah, that happens in, like, every fighting game, really.
Yeah. I remember there was an MMO I played, and we It was Final Fantasy XI, and we made one class a tank, and it was not intended to be that way at all. And Square Enix says that's not what we meant for you to do, and patched and like nerfed it. Yeah, it's like that sucks. Like let people have their fun. Jen, what are you playing?
I'm still working my way through Smash Brothers.
Yep.
All right.
I'm not talented in it by any means, but I enjoy playing it.
Yeah.
So I've been working my way through that.
Don't say you're not talented. How many times did you beat me on the stream?
On the stream, none. It was all in the warm-ups beforehand.
You beat Nick? You beat
Yes,
Nick?
I did. No one will ever believe that,
That's
except for the fact that you did just admit to it. So you heard it. I beat Nick.
So there's not actual footage.
Yeah, there's
but
no footage.
We do have an admission.
Yeah, it's because I missed like the last installment because I didn't have I had a GameCube, I had a Wii, and then I didn't have anything again.
You
until
skipped
Switch.
the Wii.
Yeah, so it's like so
many people.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like so I'm not only very out of practice, but things have changed since like the iterations that I've played. So I'm still figuring out how to not be terrible at it.
Oh, even if you had played the last one, this one's so different anyway.
Cool.
Like,
I'm gonna use that as an excuse to.
It's throwing me for a loop, and I played the last game quite a bit.
Okay.
Like it was our after work ritual for the longest time.
Okay, well that's good to know. But I'm still working through that. I'm going back through, since we were talking about our favorite games of the year and things like that, I've gone back to Celeste and I'm trying to do the B-sides and C-sides right now.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
I'm working on that.
Yep.
Still not trying to do the strawberries. That stuff's complicated and makes me very angry.
Yes.
But B-sides and C-sides, I'm doing that. And then I had played Detroit Become Human and I had gone through and done some of the different story branches, but I'd redone most of the things towards the end of the game. And now I'm going back towards like the beginning and trying to make a very different choice and seeing how different can I make my story branch.
I was just thinking about I need to play Detroit. Somebody tweeted out, I think it was Wario64, that it was like on sale for $20 on Amazon.
Oh my God,
And I
yes.
saw it on my phone and I was like, fuck, I gotta get that. I forgot about it for like maybe 30 minutes or an hour, went to check on my laptop, the sale was gone. So I was like, I really wanted that, especially at $20.
Especially for $20. It was, I still really just am fascinated by how that game built story and how like nobody ever played the same thing between everyone.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff when people ask me like, what are your favorite games of the year? It's anything that had a quirky story bit to it. So like, I love A Way Out. I love Detroit Become Human. I like the way Celeste delivered its story. Like anything that's kind of driven by those kinds of things those are my preferences.
Yeah, Detroit seems to have that choose your own adventure quality where
Very much
you're not,
so.
but in a good way.
Yes.
In a good like
Yeah.
Two people having completely different experiences. That's great.
Yeah, it's not choose your own adventure where literally every page is the Yeti. There's actually
I fell into a pit and died.
There's
Okay,
there's
let's
a
go
lot
back.
of it is very possible to die in a ton of different ways, but the game doesn't stop when that happens,
Right.
which is really nice.
It's from the same developers as Heavy Rain, right?
Yes.
Yep. Is it? Would you say
David
better
Cage,
than Heavy Rain?
I
or-
couldn't compare. What do you think?
I would say better just because of the amount of control over how that story develops that you get.
Okay.
I would say as far as like what the point of it was, I think Heavy Rain might have done a better job of communicating like its overall message than Detroit, because I think Detroit Become Human, because you had all these different stories, like I don't want to say its message got muddled in any way, but it was like you got something a little bit different from each story. So if you didn't do all of them, you didn't come away with that whole picture that they wanted you to, is how I would say it.
It's also, I would think harder to communicate an overall point if there's so many different branches.
Especially if, because you play as 3 different characters, and at any point, like after that first chapter, anybody can die. Like the game does not pull punches at that point.
Even like a main character?
Yeah, like you play these 3, and like if this character you're playing as dies in chapter 2, you don't see, like they're dead, they're gone. So you don't see the rest of the game they would have gone through.
Wow, so he goes full like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Like anybody can
Yeah,
die.
absolutely. So like there are branches that you will not experience because it's literally not possible to do 2 different things at once. But there's branches that you could miss. Like if a character dies, like that is it. Especially if you do it early in game, that's a third of the game you will not play.
How many times could you replay a game?
Oh
like
my
this?
gosh. A lot.
I know people are like infinite, but
it's not infinite because there's only so many branching paths to it. I would say that I like that they give you the ability that once you get to the end of the game, you can go back to, like, it shows you at the end of every chapter, like, a flow chart of, like, here's your decisions that you made.
Right.
And things that you haven't seen yet, there's just a gray box there. You can't, it doesn't tell you what happened, but you can see how many
But you know
options
there's
there were.
something there.
Yeah. And so you can, after you finish the game, you can go to that flow chart and be like, I want to start here.
Right.
And just pick
Oh,
words.
so you don't have to start from the beginning.
You don't have to start from the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but
cool.
any decision you make then overrides anything else. So if I go back to this point, instead of going this way, I go this way, I no longer can replay any of this stuff without going back and then reselecting that kind of option.
Okay.
So you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning.
That would drive me nuts. Like if I was
Yeah.
playing
Yes.
Detroit, then if it wasn't for that feature, I would never have gone back for the other endings and stuff.
Yeah.
But because of that feature, I actually might.
Yeah,
I would be like, well, that was my one playthrough. I'm not
Yeah.
going through all this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, there's a very particular point. The way I managed to play is I managed to have all 3 characters make it to the end without, like, I didn't like look up any guides. I panicked a lot. There was a lot of yelling, but I managed to make it. And then my intent was, okay, cool. I'm gonna try to get like the good ending where everybody lives. And then I immediately effed it up because I am not good at QuickTime events at all.
That's the only like gameplay, right? Like just sort of quick time events.
Yeah,
you have to do.
it's quick time events. It's a lot of. I also like playing a lot of puzzle and mystery games, and there's a lot of investigative elements to this
Okay.
too, where it's like, cool, I'm in this space. What can I interact with? What can I look at? And what information can I get from that?
Spider-Man does that a lot too.
Yeah. And so the cool thing is, it's like, it's finding certain things will unlock some of those options
Gotcha.
for later dialogue that you have. So there's a lot of timed dialogue things that are, hey, this and that, and
So behind you on the screen right now, that's one of the branching
Yes.
paths for the chapter Fugitives. That's just for one chapter.
Gee,
yeah, that's just one chapter. But you can see,
that's
like,
not the whole game.
but ultimately, you can see, like, this chapter really only had 4 ways it could end. So you have all of these other nuances that can impact things that happen in later chapters. There's some symbols on here that'll kind of indicate, like, oh, this came from a previous chapter, or this is going to lead to a future chapter, something else will unlock there. So there was something I did, I want to say, in, like, the 3rd chapter, that when I got to chapter 6, it's like, because you did this way back then, you have this contact with this person, and so now you have this whole dialogue tree that is available to you, which can unlock some things.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, they make all of these choices. Most of these choices matter in some kind of way. At least there's always interesting flavor text at the very least, but a lot of them are like, cool, you found this item, and now you know this thing about this person. So when you confront them later, you have something you can connect with them on, and like maybe talk them down from jumping off a building or shooting a little girl or any of that stuff.
I also just like the aesthetic of the game too.
Yes.
That futuristic Blade Runner-y,
Yeah.
you know.
It was a very beautiful game.
Yeah. That's cool. Now I just want to play Detroit.
You should.
Yeah.
Show's over. We're gonna go play Detroit.
Actually, on that point, I guess PlayStation right now is doing a huge holiday sale where every week they're like rotating games in and out, and probably in the last week they'll bring everything back at once. But right now, like God of War is like $25.
That's a great
They're going all in on a lot of deals, so you'll probably see Detroit on sale over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have been, let's see, I've got a number of things going on. I'm playing, mainly I went back to Spider-Man to like, I was like, okay, I need to, you know.
That is a great
I
game.
want to give it a try. It is so much fun. Like it might be like edging up for game of the year for me. It's a lot of people I know it's their game of the year, but like I've gotten better at web slinging, better at combat, and I like feel just more powerful as it goes on. I love the lore of the game. I mean, I've been reading Spider-Man comics forever, so it's just.
Oh, there's a lot in there for you.
Yeah, yes, there's so much stuff like thrown out there for you, and J. Jonah Jameson just being this sort of dickish talk radio guy.
That was great.
I
I thought that was a great way to
touch.
like modernize
Yeah.
Jameson.
And him and I'm not finished with it, but him and Peter Parker and Mary Jane's relationship I think is very cool. This sort of they've broken up, but like he wants to get back together, and they're sort of doing the stance of like, well, would you like to have dinner? But if not, it's okay. We can just have lunch, you know, and just like it's very like realistic.
Yeah, it's like this is getting very real.
Yeah. There's a lot of like sort of they're kind of protecting themselves,
Yeah.
you know, when they're talking to each other. It's just like really well done.
What do you think of Mary Jane mode when you play as Mary Jane?
I don't like it. I don't like any of the stealth sections like that.
Anytime it was one of those, I always, it was a small thing, but I liked how you could hit the normally the spider sense button, and it would still highlight things. It's like Mary Jane vision.
Right, right. And there's like a Miles Morales stealth section too.
Those are always the most annoying parts, or the closest to annoying that the game ever got for me.
Right, and I see why they're doing it. It's to give you, obviously, their perspective on things and try to...
Which is appreciated. Like, the perspective is the best part about it. It's just... Whenever I get to one of those, I'm like, okay, I want to be Spider-Man again.
Yeah, I want to be able to send shockwave blasts throughout my body and like knock out everybody in this room and start,
I want to throw people off of buildings.
Exactly. Yeah, I love how Spider-Man doesn't kill people, but he can sure kick people off buildings. So like, they're not going to survive that.
Have you ever done that?
All the time.
And followed the people down?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happens is they fall a certain height, and then out of actual nowhere, a line of webbing like attaches them to a building and they stick. So they don't die. I mean, Spider-Man, the things he hits them with, they should be dying.
Right.
Like car doors.
Or some of those finishers when he webs them up, pulls them toward him, and then kicks them in the face. Like,
or when he does a stealth takedown on an iron beam and he yanks them up and smashes their heads.
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna survive that Spider-Man.
Right. That's not.
But anyway.
It is. But yes, I like the finishers. I like they do a good job, I think, of like teaching you how to play the game and like reminding you too if you come back and like hey, you need to maybe throw a web bomb at these guys.
Yeah. The only thing about the controls that was a little bit confusing for me, like after I took a break and came back to it, was the realization that on some level, almost every single button on this controller can shoot a web. Like
X will do
X
it.
will do a web zip in the air. Right trigger is obviously for swinging around. R1 is for webbing people up. L1 and R1 is like your perch. It goes on and on and on. Circle is a dodge where he like shoots a web. Triangle pulls. Every single, like, you got to think about what you want to do.
Right, what kind of web
instead of
do you
like,
wanna do?
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
What kind of web do you want to shoot?
Yeah, do you want to do a quick little or do you want to shoot out a long one? And my complaint with the controls is that you hit down to heal yourself when your focus is up, but up brings out your camera. So I end up accidentally bringing out my fucking camera all the time
like
during
bleeding
a fight.
to death and taking a selfie.
Hold up. Can I get a picture of you guys? Like while you're like standing over me. I don't like that at all. I wish I could remap it. Maybe there's some function, but that's my only control gripe. But yeah, like the suits are so much fun to unlock, and I'll just be going to my next mission, but then a crime will break out, and I'll take a detour to stop that. I always feel guilty. It's like, what? There's a terrorist attack. Like, I need to do something.
Have you finished the story yet?
No.
About what percentage are you at? I should tell you roughly.
I'm at the.
And also, how much side stuff have you done?
I think I'm a third, but I've done a lot of side stuff.
Okay.
Story-wise,
if you're about a third
Miles is about to start work at the homeless shelter.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm done. I think I'm done with like sort of the first act of it.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean. I'm not trying to do big spoilers here, but
how can you possibly go buy this game now that you know that Miles works at a homeless shelter?
Miles Morales has a job? Fuck this. Thanks for ruining it, Glitch, please. Yeah, so I think I'm roughly about a third done. Something like that.
It's real good.
Yeah?
It's a real good game.
Okay.
You're gonna like it.
That's what I've heard.
You're gonna like the rest of it.
And I played that all weekend, and then I saw Into the Spider-Verse over the weekend too. Yes. So I like OD'd on Spider-Man, and I know this isn't a movie podcast, but damn, that movie was so good.
What did you see? There's world's most minor spoiler for Into the Spider-Verse. Did you see that they have the PS4 suit in there?
No.
There's a scene. You
the
can
white
probably,
spider suit?
Yeah, you can probably imagine which scene it's most likely in, but there's totally the PS4 Spider-Man suit.
That's awesome.
And I noticed it because the loud, obnoxious, nerdy guy behind me was like, "It's the PS4 suit." He would not shut up the whole movie experience.
There was a guy behind me. I realized I hate when people are enjoying themselves too much in a
Yeah,
movie.
like,
you know what I mean?
you feel so bad.
Yeah, but
when
like,
you realize that's
even
what
if
it
they're not
is. But
saying anything, but if they're laughing too loudly or something, for some reason it annoys the shit out of
You
me.
would've-
Quietly enjoy it.
You would have hated being in my theater. Everyone was laughing constantly.
that's
Like,
why
did you see it on the premiere though?
No, I saw it Friday, Saturday, sometime over the last couple of days.
Right.
Because if people are laughing at a movie, that's one thing. But like, I'm talking in my experience, there is maybe a fourth of the theater filled up, and it was still the most
Oh
obnoxious.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
But
it was a full theater, but
Well,
yeah.
there was like somebody on our row. My wife and I went to go see. There was somebody on our row, all the way down to our left,
Yep.
snoring so loudly the whole time.
Hilarious.
And then
they need a CPAP machine. That's sleep apnea.
Maybe
right
they-
there. That's a medical
Yeah.
condition.
And then there's a guy behind us who kept trying to wisecrack
Yes.
the entire movie.
No,
Fuck
none of that.
those- ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I hate, like, I've had like Deadpool, like the same thing has happened. Some of the Avengers. I don't mind if you enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
What I hate is people trying to draw attention to themselves
Yes.
for
Yes.
how much they're enjoying
Yes,
it,
that.
or just pointing stuff out or like laughing at inappropriate parts. It's like, just shut up. Like, all right, you can enjoy it, but you don't have to. It doesn't have to be all about.
You don't have to
your
prove it to us that you're
Exactly.
enjoying
Just
it.
enjoy it. Yeah, just be a
calm
fan.
down.
We're all here because we like Spider-Man.
My exact words to my wife when we were both like on the cusp of doing something we would regret was, I just wish people could show up, shut up, and enjoy the movie.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I like Alamo Drafthouse.
Yes.
Because they are
That doesn't happen there.
hardcore about that. Well, this one
or
this
if-
guy was edging towards that.
Was this at Alamo that you saw? Okay.
Yep, it was
I
at
was
Alamo.
at a Regal Cinemas, but
Yep.
they did right by us. We got free tickets to see whatever we want.
Oh,
Did you
nice.
complain
time.
about that guy?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did. It was that bad.
I used to work in a movie theater in college, and yes, movie theaters will, if there's ever a problem, we would just give them free passes. Never your money back. The money never comes back. We'll give you a free pass.
I will always go see another movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not-
You could go see Spider-Verse again.
I just might.
It
Yeah.
was
I actually might.
It's like getting an Amazon gift card. Like, you know you're going to use
Oh,
that
absolutely,
at some
yes.
point. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I also liked that I took my kid to see it, and like they just really enjoyed it. It was nice to have, like, this is very dad of me to say, but it was nice to have a PG movie that I didn't have to worry about, whereas if you take them to a PG like Star Wars or the Avengers stuff, there's gonna be stuff there that you don't want them to see. This had a lot of action, it was a lot of fun, but it was fine. It was all
Yeah.
cartoony action. Nothing was graphic, I'll say
yes.
okay.
that. But yeah, it was fun. I just OD'd on Spider-Man all weekend, and I'm trying to play. What else am I playing? I just got Donut County on the Switch. So I'm
how's
looking
that?
forward to that. I've just downloaded.
Oh,
it, so
just
I'm looking
downloaded. Okay,
forward.
literally just got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on it so far?
You know what? The file size doesn't seem to be that large.
It's an inconveniently sized
Yeah,
file size.
exactly. What were you gonna say, Ben?
I was gonna the last DLC for Spider-Man drops on the 21st. It actually has a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse suit as DLC.
Oh,
for the
cool.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Right, but they
There it is right
don't
there.
have the Sam Raimi suit, and some people are very mad about that.
Yeah,
Which I
I'm not
don't
sure why they'd
fully-
be mad about it.
Because it's the internet and people have to be mad about something.
I mean, like, what would be different? Like, the eyes would be a little bit of a different shape.
There's sort of like lines all over his face, but they're like a lot more pronounced. But I feel like you got a great Spider-Man game, maybe the
Yes.
best one. Like, just be happy about that.
Yeah.
Just enjoy your Spider-Man.
Of the Spider-Man games I've played, unquestionably the best one.
Have you played any of the DLC, or have you gone that far?
As much as I've loved Spider-Man, I have not gotten any of the DLC, and honestly, I don't know if I will.
Once you were done, you were done. and-
Not even that. Like, I won 100% of the game, and then
Oh,
I
okay.
started over again in New Game Plus.
You
Oh.
enjoyed the game that you got,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't need the extra bits.
Yeah, well, just
Yeah.
at the price it was at.
Yeah.
If it goes down in price, and if I'm not, neck deep into something else, then
Right.
I may jump back in because I love this game that much.
Is there like is there a backlog game that you guys have that you want to get to? Like over the holiday break, are you like, okay, I've got to touch it? Because for me, it's Red Dead 2. Like I want to, after I'm done with Spider-Man, I'm gonna be a cowboy.
Brian, now that I have Smash Brothers, my backlog doesn't matter.
You're done.
My
Backlog
Smash
does not
Brothers
exist.
is not just my backlog, it's my present log, it's my future log. It's my forever log.
Well, I guess if you...
These
'cause
sound like wedding vows.
It kind of does.
You're kind of in training, though, because for you, this is like a work thing, too, because you all play each other constantly.
Yeah.
So you want to, like, be you want to be competitive.
I consider myself a wannabe competitive player.
Okay.
Like, I tend to prefer that kind of rule set, and I also try to approach the game from, like, a learning perspective, like always trying to improve and, like, learn new things.
Nice.
That I very occasionally will go out to tournaments. and stuff
Oh,
like that.
wow, okay.
Very, very
To
occasionally.
compete or to watch them?
I mean, to both.
Okay,
Both.
nice.
Haven't been to any for Ultimate yet because the game just came out. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a local Austin Smash competitive scene that I've been to twice for the last game, and I'll go to it
That's
every now
cool.
and then for this one, I'm sure.
That's hardcore, man. Well, I'm glad.
Sure.
I'm glad. I don't think I've had any game I could be competitive in. Like maybe Hearthstone, and that's just because it's card. I can
Yeah.
point and click. Yeah. How about you, Jen? Backlog.
I'm sure I've got a bunch of backlog, and
Yeah.
I just kind of ignore it because everything's just so busy. And then if I make eye contact with it, I get really, really sad.
Yeah. I know. I feel guilty.
I still have the Godmaster DLC for Hollow Knight to chug through. Like.
Oh, you haven't played that yet?
Yeah, I've started. It is
This
long.
Hollow Knight speed run over here.
Yeah. I've done most of the DLCs. I've done Grim Troop and all that stuff, but it's like I just haven't done what was unlocked with Godmaster, which unlocks a new ending of the game. So it's like I need to do that. So I'll probably hit that up and try to make that happen.
I was coming back to Stardew Valley oh, my kid discovered it on my PlayStation, and then they started playing it.
I love the hell out of Stardew.
And that was fun to like show them like how it works and everything. And I'm like, this game is really satisfying. to play.
I still play that every 2 weeks. I have some friends that we get together and we play the multiplayer, and like we have a farm together.
Yeah.
And
So how does multiplayer work? Like because I haven't tried it. I know
Okay.
it's out on Switch, but like you're all on the same farm. But what if somebody goes into a different zone? Like who does it follow?
so it's everyone's playing remotely. So it's just like any.
Oh,
other-
so you aren't playing on the same
You're not playing on the
Switch.
same. Yeah.
I got you.
So it's everyone does their own thing. It's one person owns the farm, and then your 3 friends, I'm assuming your friends, are all like
enemies.
they all have cabins on that farm. So you have to have space for those things.
They're like sharecroppers on your farm.
Yeah, pretty much.
You
So
have
it's like
the owner.
the way we've got it set up is like cool. Everyone knows like this person really loves taking care of the animal stuff, so they'll do those things. This person's like I really like doing like the fishing and the
have
foraging
chores.
and like everyone kind of does that thing. But we also try to do random fun things. So when it got towards the end of the year in the game, we did like a New Year's party, and 2 of us
that's
got married,
fun.
so we did a bachelor party. And like,
How do you do a bachelor party in Stardew Valley? Or-
we went to there's like the spa that's up in the north part.
Yep.
So it's like we made wine and we went to the spa and drunk the wine there. We went to
That's
the bar in
hilarious.
town and lost track of time and then tried to book it back to the farm but didn't
Before
make it.
night.
So all 4 of us passed out on our horses just in the path, which was just hilarious.
That's great.
So we just organized a bunch of random stuff.
How does money get divided up? So you're all in the same farm. Do they just split it 4 ways?
Nope, it's you all have essentially a communal pot. So anytime anybody's going to buy anything, we're like, hey, is it cool, especially early in the game when money is hard to come by
Yeah.
and you're really working for it. It's like, hey, I really would like to buy the expanded backpack. Does anyone mind? And it's like, we're going to buy these crops. That's going to put us at this level. Is everyone cool with it?
So it's all in one
It's
communal
all in one communal.
socialism.
Yes.
Is what it is. Yeah.
Stardew Valley is socialist. But it's also interesting because there's no way to block off like your house. So people can just come in and take your stuff. So that has become a running gag.
no.
Like there's nothing that's safe. Nothing is safe. And as like the host player, if someone isn't in the game, you can go into their house and there's like a set of dresser drawers or whatever, and that's their inventory. So anything they were holding when they left
Yeah.
the game, you can get into like their inventory. So there's literally nothing is safe.
Wow.
Which leads to some shenanigans.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course. That's like back in Animal Crossing when you would visit people's towns
Yes.
and then start digging up stuff.
Yeah. It's just if you could go in Animal Crossing, go into their house and take stuff out of their house, that's exactly what this is like.
Can't wait.
On that note, I actually was incorrect about Smash Brothers being my forever.
Okay.
Animal Crossing.
Oh wow, we have a
that comes-
correction.
Yeah.
We have a correction.
Correction. 2019, Animal Crossing. It's the complete opposite of Smash Brothers, and I want it just as badly.
Okay. Oh, Animal Crossing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know.
I love Animal
There
Crossing.
are a bunch of stealth Animal Crossing fans at Rooster Teeth.
Yeah?
Because whenever the mention of Animal Crossing comes up, people are like, yes, day one, I'm taking a week off.
I need it.
Yeah.
Like when Isabelle was announced for Smash,
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty cool. I wish they'd announced a new game. And then they did right after that. That was a good day.
Animal Crossing to me, I like it, but I always hit a wall with Animal Crossing for some reason.
Like a wall of interest.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
I can understand that.
It's because like Stardew, you can play and sell your stuff and build. Animal Crossing, it seems like I hit some sort of. It's like I like digging up the fossils and trying to fill those out, but then after that, I just kind of lose it.
I get super excited about Animal Crossing, but I'm kind of the same way. It's like as soon as I filled my museum and my house is fully upgraded, it's like cool. Now it's just gathering stuff.
Yes,
It's
yes.
like, I'll play for a little bit, but it's like there's nothing driving it anymore. It's just kind of more of a mindless thing, which is fine. Sometimes you need that, but as far as having a purpose goes, that's kind of gone. So I fall off the train at that point.
Yeah, I'm not really into like decorating my house or like. I mean, I'll get something and put it up on the wall, but I don't have like some larger overall aesthetic that I'm going for or trying to collect a set.
Whenever the game dropped on 3DS, it was just everyone had their nose in 3DSs here walking around the studio, trading fruit with
New
each
Leaf
other.
was the best Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will play it, and but yeah, I would like some sort of larger thing. And it feels like in Stardew, they give you sort of larger goals to shoot.
I will come to your Animal Crossing house and steal all your stuff, so you have to keep playing. So it's fine.
All right, we'll do it. All right, well, that wraps up what we are playing, and now it is time for everybody's favorite section, Quiz Please. All right, so it is the holidays. Fair warning. It's slow out there, news-wise. So with that being said, you each get 4 questions instead of your usual 5.
Okay.
I believe, Nick, you've won one, right?
I had a perfect score the first time, and then I got like 40% the next time.
Okay, and then Jen, you've been on once.
I've been on once and I got 4.
Okay, all right.
So 3.5 because Adam threw me a bone for half of them.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
All right, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, Jen. Quiz, please. Here we go. No fair looking.
Okay.
No multiple choice this time. You gotta guess it.
Oh, that sucks.
Jen, question 1. Copies of which upcoming game were leaked early, prompting its director to ask fans not to share video from it?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's
Why
right.
would you do that? Why?
Well, the guy who apparently leaked, was selling them. He got some Xbox One, he or she, but I think it was a he got them Xbox One copies and was selling them on Facebook's marketplace, which made it pretty easy to find his personal information.
I love the brilliance in these plans.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever catch
Whatever
me.
you make, I think he got 30 copies. Let's say you sell all of
so
those.
many.
But that is so, he is in so much trouble now.
Yeah.
The markup on those could be pretty substantial. Like the Kingdom Hearts fans out there,
Yeah.
I'm sure would pay for it a month.
$100, $200, yeah, but still.
I'm sure they would.
Even if he made a couple of grand, he's gonna spend that all in legal fees.
Yeah. I don't know. This is where I have a disconnect from the real world because in my head I legitimately I don't understand why someone would do that. Why you would ruin this for so many people? Don't do that.
It's really
and if you
scummy.
find the videos online, don't share them.
Right. It is scummy to do, and it's illegal.
Yeah.
But also, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
I don't.
Logistically, I don't know why you would do
it's
it.
Not, yeah.
But also emotionally, it's why? Why?
But apparently,
Get them.
I think it was from a distribution center in North Carolina, and he somehow, I don't know if he had an in, or something.
He was selling them for $100 a copy.
Okay.
And I guess
Not ambitious enough.
a few people reached out to him to ask how he acquired these copies, namely Kotaku, and he replied, "I'm the man, plain and simple." The only answer he would give.
All right, I like him.
Oh my
though.
God.
No, it was. apparently, though, Nomura came out, with the statement, said don't share this. But he also said, I think that they had held like some of the secrets back or the secret endings that weren't like, I don't know, they hadn't released them yet because of stuff like this to prevent like leakers from spoiling it for everybody. I'm very excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. I played them all. I love them. I don't understand the story anymore, but it's just like, it's such a fun game. Kingdom Hearts is almost more of a lifestyle than a game.
Kingdom Hearts is one of those game series that I wanted to like, and I just can't. I just don't have the attention span for it. I don't like that kind of style of game. It's like, everyone loves it, and it's like, cool, I need to do this. And I'd get about 2/3 of the way through, and it's like, I'm just doing it because I feel like I have to be one of the cool kids. It's just not my jam.
Once again, coming from Kotaku, from Jason Schreier, the voice actor who plays Axel in the games, wrote on Twitter that he'd heard they'd captured the guy responsible.
Captured.
And the subreddit is basically on full lockdown because fans have waited nearly 13 years just to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's been such a wait. He had apparently posted some footage of the game to like prove that he was, legit, that he legit had these copies. So
why does anybody need to? Well, I guess because he's selling them. Never mind.
Yeah. All right, so question 2. Jen, player numbers for all PlayStation 4 games were recently leaked, or a lot of them. Which game has the most players on PlayStation 4?
PlayStation 4, I'm gonna go GTA 5?
You got it.
Yes!
That's right. It is GTA 5 followed by 3 FIFAs, I think.
Okay.
If you will.
3
FIFA. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So what happened is Sony gave you the ability to do something like my PlayStation year or something like that. You can make a video showing like
the things that Facebook does.
Yeah,
for your anniversaries and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they gave you like a trophy. You could it showed off your your rare trophies, I think, but it gave specific numbers like 3,000 other people got this trophy. Well, the percentages are already publicly available, so people were kind of, doing some basic math and kind of figured it out.
Math.
Yeah, but GTA,
ruining everything.
Yeah, I know, but GTA, yes, far out in front, and FIFA's. It just goes to show you how popular those games are. And I've never played a FIFA game, but like people love them.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
People go crazy for it.
All right. Jen, question 3. You're a perfect 2 for 2. Loot boxes might be coming to Fallout 76 thanks to some data mining. What are they called?
Oh, God, I have no idea.
They are called, any guess? Want to take a guess?
I have no.
I'll take a guess.
Okay.
Loot vaults.
No, they are called lunchboxes, or at least that is what people found. And they have been they think it might be a holiday event, but they think it might also, because they grant things like experience bonuses and things like that. So there's some concern that this could
they're just
up the game.
digging in on.
Yes.
How many more, unpopular decisions can be associated with this game?
Well, the whole canvas bag controversy.
Yeah.
Well, somebody posted a shot of their ticket that they had sent. And they were
So glad you're bringing this up.
They were going to get their and Bethesda wrote back, please allow 4 to 6 months for production. Not weeks, months. So, yeah.
It's going to be some really good bags.
Really good.
I'm expecting it'll take actually 8 months, and they're just going to be slightly better nylon bags that have a canvas print on them. That's where my money's at right now.
Okay, so
really hope.
Final question,
Okay.
Jen. What classic game franchise collection recently sold 1 million copies, the first time in 15 years that an entry from this franchise has sold that many copies?
Mega Man?
You got it.
Yay!
Mega Man Legacy, I believe, which collected the OG 1 through 6 Mega Mans, sold, and there's the classic box art.
Wow,
Who
he's
could
kind of
forget?
horrifying, actually.
You've never seen this?
asymmetrical.
Yeah.
No, maybe I've seen it, but not really looked into his eyes before.
I feel like back then they were like embarrassed of the screenshot.
just got a
Why
straight
not
up
just show a
gun.
screenshot for Mega Man? Like instead of this weird guy with a gun.
Yeah, there's a lot happening here. I'm also getting more uncomfortable. The more I'm looking at the leg region, I'm getting more uncomfortable with
That
this.
right thigh,
Yeah, it's.
particularly
It's not that
swole.
he skipped leg day, but he skipped left leg day.
Yeah.
Definitely at the gym.
In his asymmetrical helmet. You'll never unsee it.
Oh my gosh! The longer you look at it, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All right, so Jen,
3
3
out of 4?
correct answers.
I'll take it.
All right, Nick, now it's your turn.
Okay.
Nick, game developers in what country recently announced that they have unionized?
United Kingdom.
You got it, in the UK. They are part of a sort of a larger worldwide group, and they've unionized. I wasn't quite sure how many, but they tweeted they did, and then they sort of posted a link like, join us. So obviously a lot of talk about crunch and labor issues with GTA 5 and the 100-hour work weeks and Telltale, going out of business and leaving employees with no severance. So labor issues. Very big right now. Next question for Nick. Game developer, no, that's not right. What classic horror movie director says he wants to make a video game score?
Video game wait, hold on. A movie director
Yes.
wants to make a video game score.
Yeah, or soundtrack, I mean. Classic horror movie director.
There's a lot happening in this.
Is it?
There's a lot to unpack here.
I have more questions. Rob Zombie.
Oh, God.
I have no idea.
I said classic, so that would be
just threw out the first
that
thing
would
I
be
think.
John Carpenter, who made the very
Oh,
first
of course,
Halloween.
of
He made
course.
The Thing.
Yeah.
He made Escape from New York. He
I
made
feel like
They
an
Live.
idiot now.
He is a huge gamer and said in an
I didn't know he
interview-
was a gamer.
big gamer, and said that he would love to make a score for a game, which feels like to me someone needs to jump on this immediately.
Yeah.
Like, why not have him write
a movie
score
based
for
on
your
The
horror
Thing.
movie? Yeah, or just score your horror game. Like, he's gonna nail it. Halloween had an iconic soundtrack that he wrote. So yeah, get on the phone with John Carpenter, I would say.
He announced that, or he came out and said that he was addicted to Destiny 2 not too long ago, but he also tried for quite some time to direct a film adaptation of Dead Space.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a that would be a crazy
He
movie.
tried and it didn't get off the ground?
Apparently, sadly, nothing ever really came of his desire to bring Dead Space to the big screen. That comes from denofgeek.com.
That's a bummer.
Dead Space as a movie had not occurred to me, but that I now think that might be one of those games that could almost do that with.
Yeah. Okay, Nick has one. Next up, according to new numbers from NPD, what is the fastest selling console in the US this generation?
Switch.
You got it.
I feel like that was a little bit of a gimme.
Yeah, sold more than 8.7 million units in all as of November. It was weird because Nintendo put out a release about this saying, we're the fastest selling console. And then they quoted NPD numbers, which is like a researcher. Surely you guys know how many you've sold. Why are you quoting? And like, you could call somebody, I would think.
That is a very good point, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
point.
All right, you've got 2 now, and you had 3.
I had
so
3.
Here we go.
so-
Last question.
Last question. Which
right.
actor, Nick, has sued Fortnite claiming that the game copied his trademark dance?
Carlton, man. The actor
actor.
escapes me. No,
No, you
don't
gotta
do this
get
to
the
me.
actor.
No, don't do this to me.
I didn't say which
I know.
character.
I clearly know who it is.
Yeah, no, you clearly don't because you don't know the actors. Nick.
Are you still trying? Are you still trying to remember his name?
I'm trying to remember, but I know I'm not gonna find. What is it?
It's Alfonso, and I don't know how to say the last name. It's like Ribeiro or
Yep,
something
that's
like
right,
that. So
that's right.
I get the point. I'm stealing it.
They did, yes, and they whatever the emote they use clearly is, you can see very similar to the
It's
Carlton from
him
First Person.
and Floss Kid and
Backpack Kid.
yeah,
His real
Floss and
name
Backpack
is
Kid.
Not Backpack Kid.
Yeah, forget his name.
I mean, you have Battle Kid, Backpack Kid. Like, why not? So.
We also would have accepted Donald Faison from Scrubs, who also has accused them of ripping
Okay.
his dance.
Which is interesting because the dance is in a lot of other games. It's just that Fortnite is currently the biggest. Like Destiny 2 has the dance, and
There's
they're not
one
going
in
after
like
them.
Team Fortress 2, I think, has a dance literally called the Carlton. He apparently chose to make his stand with Fortnite.
I mean, I guess my question would be on those other games is, did they have permission?
Right.
So, like, because it sounds like the issue with Fortnite is that it was done without his knowledge. So it's like, are those other games fine? Because did
they reach out to Alfonso
Yeah.
Ribeiro and say, hey, are we cool with
Yeah,
this?
so that would be my follow-up question to that existing in other places, but...
I didn't know you could trademark a dance. Like, I didn't know, because
yeah.
what I would assume is these games, or at least some of them, went through legal and were like, can we do this?
It also looks like he's suing NBA 2K for using his dance as well, so it's not just
Floskit
Fortnite.
is, yeah.
I'm seeing here that.
Carlton is too?
Yep, Carlton is also suing.
You're still calling
NBA
him
2K.
Carlton. You keep.
I said his name.
Give me my point, Brian.
How about we share the point? Because I had the actual name, but you still knew it. How about that?
I remember.
Still beating me
It's okay.
by a
I mean, if
point.
you want to make it a competition, then I
Yeah.
still beat you.
Hey,
because you got it
Dan
wrong.
wins!
I can never be on Glitch Please again. I have to go out on this.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember Alfonso Ribeiro also had a video he would set, like direct to consumer, where he taught you how to break dance. So it
What?
was awesome. It was like,
I need
you can
this.
learn the centipede, and like, he's doing backspins and stuff, but it was his guide to break dancing. I know, I wish I'd mentioned this before so we could pull it up on YouTube, but it was fantastic.
I want this. I want to have a party where we're just like,
Right.
we all have a couple drinks, put
Yep.
that on.
Yeah, and this was obviously like pre-YouTube, pre-internet, so it's like you could only get that magic from, by calling now. And everything was like 1995.
Yeah, 1995.
Get a second one free.
Yeah,
You don't need,
share
you
with
don't
a
need a
friend,
second copy, but you can have it.
Or you could just bootleg it and sell it on the street, which I'll bet is what that Kingdom Hearts 3 guy would have done back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
There it is.
Oh,
Leave it to broadcast to find anything you want instantly.
I love broadcasts. They're great.
They got the cardboard out. Yeah, look at that. When you learn,
It looks like
when you
you're
love to
spinning
learn how
a
to do
spinner
that.
in a board game.
This is beautiful. I want that jacket, first of all.
Here it is, breaking and popping with Alfonso Ribeiro.
Breaking and popping.
Boom. Got some backspins.
That's great.
The 80s were a wonderful time.
This is.
Look at that shit.
I'm so.
Rap Attack?
I'm
a 2-record set.
so happy now.
Yeah. Aussie rap. I would love to hear that. The message. Yeah.
Oh, look, music part 1.
Here's some moves. So this must have been aimed at kids, obviously. Yeah. So yeah.
On
1999. I was right.
You're off.
Everything.
Said 1995.
Oh, okay. All right. 5 cents off.
Yeah, if he didn't get Carlton, you can't have that
You're
one.
still
Sorry.
salty about the name. I know. All right. Well, that I feel like wraps it up. Anybody else has anything you want to talk about?
No.
All right, that is it for Glitch Please, and stay tuned, of course, for New Game Plus. That is our post-show exclusively for first members. If you're not a first member, you can get a free trial right now, I believe. So check that out. We'll see you at New Game Plus.